Hello and welcome to Daily Records. I am Tommy Burton, and today we're going to be talking about the great singer-songwriter Townes Van Zandt and his album For the Sake of the Song, which was his very first album, released in 1968. This, like I said, was his first album, and a lot of the songs were a little bit produced in the sense that they added strings and arrangements to it. And a lot of these songs kind of came out on later albums in sort of stripped down versions. The liner notes here by Mickey Newbury. Interesting cover art featuring Townes Van Zandt. And Townes Van Zandt, for those of you who don't know, one of the major singer-songwriters, particularly from Texas, to come along, probably in the ranks of guys like Steve Earle, who's a big fan of Townes, Bob Dylan, definitely in that vein of singer-songwriter. A couple of the songs, the title track For the Sake of the Song, Tecumseh Valley, Waiting Around to Die, Sad Cinderella, all of those songs ended up coming back out in different versions later on. Now, this was the main release on the Poppy label. It was a label that was operated by Kevin Eggers. Townes Van Zandt had kind of a strange relationship with this guy. And according to some biographers, Eggers had first heard the song Tecumseh Valley, and Jack Clement, Cowboy Jack, famous producer, played a demo of it that had been recorded. I think the song went back to like 1966. And Eggers kind of said, this is a brilliant song. I love it. And this guy, Townes Van Zandt, is a great songwriter. So he signed Townes Van Zandt to make this record, and he felt that Townes was just brilliant. Now, those of you who know Jack Clement, he had worked with Sam Phillips at Sun, kind of became his own songwriter, linked with guys like Johnny Cash. And so Jack Clement offered to produce the album along with Jim Malloy. Townes had built a little bit of a following on the folk circuit in the coffee houses and just sort of little bars. So he went to Nashville to record this album. And it's interesting because a lot of guys, particularly these Texas guys, had a very complex relationship with Nashville, which is sort of where the whole outlaw movement came from. Now, a lot of people were familiar with Townes Van Zandt, just doing a lot of these songs with his acoustic guitar. And so when they heard this album, it was a little bit shocking because there was a lot of added production to it. Townes Van Zandt really wasn't a conventional singer. He wasn't like a great vocalist, but they put a lot of echo on his vocals and put these organs and just all these sort of accoutrements all over the songs. And it kind of took away from sort of Townes Van Zandt's vision. And so, Townes was kind of a down-to-earth, kind of stripped back kind of guy. He didn't really need a lot of production. His songs were very lived in and very real. And so listening to it like this, the songs kind of become more sort of folky and less sort of country troubadour, if that makes sense. So as an album, it's real hit or miss. You can't argue with the quality of songs. They're fantastic songs. Townes certainly is worthy of his following as one of the great songwriters. However, people are really mixed about the production on it. It doesn't sound like the Townes Van Zandt that a lot of people kind of know and love. But as it is, this is the debut For the Sake of the Song, the first album from singer-songwriter Townes Van Zandt. Today's Daily Record. Like, comment, subscribe, share, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's TommyBurton75. In the meantime, I'll see you all again tomorrow with another Daily Record.